Okay, we go to a new family. We search for the door template. Just this door template. Just this one, and click open. And we see now is that template that we can create our door, and so we don't have to start from the scratch. So it already has a generic piece of wall with an opening, and it has these constructions planes that are very helpful because we can attach our object to them. So we can see there's all already 2 construction planes that define the width, and if we go to the elevations, we can see that the height is also already defined with a construction plane. Types now and change the value for the height, for example, to 4,000. The construction plane will change. The frame is going to change with it. So first thing we're going to do is delete the existing frames because we want a different construction type. So delete this frame, and what we now to make our new frame is an extrusion. So we can go back to this view. Okay, we go to this view and create an extrusion. Extrusion, we select a rectangle, click wheel from here, and then we select those little locket and close them. So our rectangle will fix to this wall, and we need another rectangle to make a frame, and click escape. So we need to trim this bottom of this and trim it so we can have the thickness of the frame here. So now we have shaped our frame roughly, but we also wanted to make the thickness parametric, so we create the dimensions, and you can find dimensions under annotate. Go using align. So we select all 3 thickness of this and click escape. And now we select one of the dimension here, so we can see the label box at the bottom of this. So this assigns a parameter to its, but as we don't have one yet, so we need to create it. So we click at this little icon right here, and we name it frame thickness. Click OK. So we want to make another dimension also, it's a type parameter. So now I can assign those 2 dimensions to the same parameters of the frame thickness, and you see that it now changes accordingly. But I think it's a bit too thin with 666, so I will go to the family types, and you can see we have already a parameter frame thickness, so we change this to 80, apply, and click OK. So then we can finish off, and what we need to now is fix the frame to the wall. So we go to the reference level floor plans, and what we see now that this is the frame that we just created extrusion, and which it goes outside the wall here. So we can grab this little triangle, push it into the wall. So we see and we move this, so we can see this lock up here, so we need to click it to lock it. So this is we get it fixed to this reference plane exterior. And now if we change the wall, make sure all these lock, so if we change the wall, for example, we go click the wall, and then we go to properties. So let's change it, let's say 200 mm. So the frames of the door also change into the wall thickness. So it means that our frames is already fixed into the reference plane. Okay, so that's perfectly. It's always good to check the right way, so you see whether it works perfectly or not. Okay, so just the back. So if you remember my drawing before, you know that our doors needs to have a little cut off here, the frame I mean. So what we need to create that, it is a void form. So void forms, we need to go to the create and go to the void forms here, void extrusions. So void forms works basically the same as the usual extrusions. It creates a form, but it creates a negative form, so you can see the form when you draw it, but in the physically you cannot see the forms, right? So it's like before, we create an extrusion but not a solid extrusions, but so we need to go to the exterior here, but void extrusions here. So we need rectangles on the top of the image here, into this, and then follow the lock, and the second one goes on the top of that. And now after hitting escape and modify to exit the command, so we are going to use the shortcut trims, TR. So this trim, and represent will come up here, right here too, to close this form. Okay, and we guess that we need another parameter for this void extrusions. Sequence of this void form same as before, so we go to United line. Okay, and now select one of the dimension. So you can see the level box here. So take this create parameter. So we name it okay. So same like others. But we're going to change this for this. So go to family types. So cut out this here. Just apply. Okay. Now we are going to finish that off. Here, and then take a look at this under reference level. So this is a void frame, which doesn't cut through the frame yet that we created. So we need to move it as well, so we drag it here. So now fit this on the reference plane, and now we move that and we so you can see that we have this kind of edge here, this kind of form that we wanted for the frame. So we need to make a dimension here. I'll get the block first. Select this one, so we want to have the 70% as a cutoff thickness here. Okay, so that's pretty much everything we need. To do for the frame. So now let's take a look at it in 3D. So this is the frame that we just have created. So now before we create the door, so before we create the actual door, let's check to see if the parameter works fine. So we go to the family types and we're trying to adjust this. So it's going well. So the thickness and this one here, and this one. How about okay. Alright. So everything changes appropriately. Okay, and now for the actual door, we need another extrusion. So we go to create extrusions, rectangle. Let's go like this from here to here. Don't forget the lock. Trim the hour. Okay. door. This distance in the wall is always the same as the cut out. So we grab another dimensions. So make sure the value seems like cut of the thickness. And then this also need to make sure thickness. So we are going to create a new parameter. So we go to select one of the dimensions and we go to the level box, width, and then we name this side or set maybe, okay? So we set it, set this one, okay? So we can finish the operation now and say about the 3D. Let's make it real. Oops. So we go extrusion so we can see that. So make sure it's like so it's here. Let it look. And here we go. This is our door. Okay, so maybe you should make a cut right here so this does not get too long, and then I will show you maybe the next times how we want to assign the material parameters through the door and how we can make it open the door, as I said. So stay tuned for the next video. I will show you part 2 of this tutorial. Bye bye.